Hi and welcome to the Happiness Safari podcast. My name is Nadine, I'm your host, and this podcast is here to inspire you to live a happier and healthier life. And today I would like to talk to you about a topic which is very, very dear to my heart, and it is sustainability. Because traveling showed me that, our beautiful planet is so much in trouble, and there are so many things we can do. And I do believe that the consumer has the power because we can change the world for the better. And I love this quote: we don't need 100 people who live perfectly sustainably, but 1 million who do it imperfectly. Actually, ideally, we need everybody to do it imperfectly. So, of course, the things I will share here with you are a lot of suggestions, and you don't have to do all of them, but maybe you can pick some for you and maybe the ones who will just be very easy for you. And what I want to create with this episode is just some more mindfulness around the topic of sustainability. I hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, let's start. As I mentioned in the intro, I would just like to share some things I changed in my life in terms of sustainability and some things you can maybe use for yourself. So let's start, because I have a feeling this could be a long episode. So first is reduce, reuse, or recycle. And very quickly speaking about recycling, we think in countries where we do recycle that if you use a lot of plastic, it's fine because you throw it away and then it will be recycled. But actually, most of the plastic you use is just downcycled, meaning if a plastic bottle has a component of plastic, like the thick plastic of the bottle, and also the very thin plastic of the label. And actually, when you put it in a bin, and even though, you put it somewhere where it says recycling, it will all land in the same container. And then they have to downcycle it to the thinnest and smallest particle of the plastic, the component, and that is usually the label. So that means out of millions of plastic bottles, you could only make millions of these super thin labels for the bottle, but you can't really create or produce new bottles. So there is no real recycling unless, for example, in Germany, which I think is something amazing, you would, for example, buy water bottles or beer in glass bottles, and if you return them to the supermarket, they usually give you money back, and then these are actually recycled, meaning they are cleaned and then refilled again. So that is proper recycling. But otherwise, everything you throw, and especially plastic, is just downcycled. So just keep that in mind. So better is to reduce and to reuse. So reduce waste by just buying only what you need. Just be more mindful of what you actually need. Don't buy things or take things just because they are for free. For example, now that I'm traveling in Vietnam, we are also obviously spending our time in different hotels. And then in hotels, they have like little soaps packed in plastic. They have even, a toothbrush. If you don't have it, of course it's convenient, but they have these little shampoo bottles in little plastic packages and all of that. And I, for example, wouldn't use that. I would always have my own, bring my own soap, bring my own shampoo, obviously, and just use what I have instead of using these tiny plastic things just because they are free in a hotel. So that's reducing. Then reusing as much as possible. So can you maybe create something new out of the things you already have? Or also, can you fix things? So for example, when my clothes break or they have a hole or whatever, I fix them and I wear them as long as I can. I don't just throw them away because they don't look as nice anymore. So there are many ways, but again, today I just want to give you an inspiration. Otherwise, this will be a very long episode, as I said. And then The third one is obviously recycle. So recycle whenever you can. So if you're fortunate to live in a country where they do actually recycle, then make sure you separate your trash and it can get recycled as much as possible. Then the second point is conserve energy. So you save energy by using energy efficient appliance, like turning off your lights or electronics when not in use. So even just the TV, or when you're going away for a weekend or for a longer vacation, you can just, some countries have these very convenient plugs where you can just turn the electricity off, basically, because you don't use it. And especially nowadays with the energy crisis, I think that's also having a financial benefit if you're actually saving some energy. And then using public transportation. So whenever you can, try to use public transportation instead of your own car. And carpooling. If you have a car, share it with others. So I actually, it's a long time ago that I had my own car, but since then, and in Germany and in many other countries, you can use apps like Share Now or Miles, where you can rent cars just from the street, for example. Or in countries where that doesn't exist, like in Portugal, we try to do some carpooling with some friends, and so one person has a car but then is renting it out to other people, because actually I think there are statistics, but our cars we're not using probably 95% of the day. It's just standing somewhere, either in front of your home or in front of your workspace, but you don't use it. And then the next option to save energy is obviously just cycling. And I personally love cycling. It's the one thing I do wherever I travel. I make sure I get a bike wherever I lived, even in London, even in Kenya, in countries where people said, "Oh, you're crazy, you will get killed." Obviously, I would suggest wear a helmet and be careful if you're cycling on the other side of the street, maybe. But cycling is also such a great and fun way to get around. So I really love cycling. I also cycle here in Vietnam. You get to see more, you get to enjoy nature. And cycling is a great way to conserve some energy. And the next one is eat sustainably. So consider eating a plant-based diet, not just to save our beautiful animals in this world, but also to, if you reduce meat consumption, you will reduce the carbon footprint on your food. And you can also choose to eat locally sourced food and organic food. And ideally also seasonal food. So when I go in the supermarket, I see what is the season, where I am right now, and what products are actually local. And if I then can, I also find an organic store. And I mean, I feel I should or could do another episode just on sustainable traveling, because obviously it's much, much harder when you're traveling, but these are the things I look out for. So I always try to eat local, eat organic, and eat seasonal. And I am vegetarian and mostly vegan, but that is obviously up to you. But also with that, you can just be mindful and ask yourself, do I have to eat meat 3 times a day, or is 1 time a week maybe enough? And is that processed meat from the supermarket really the best option for me? Or could you actually enjoy like a local fresh steak or fish in a restaurant once a week, and the rest of the time eat plant-based? I have a lot of amazing links. I will put them all in the show notes for you. So if you want to dive deeper into any of these topics or have more information, please reach out. I'm also looking forward to receive some feedback, and then maybe I create 1 or more episodes about this topic. And the next one is maybe support sustainable companies. So you choose products and services from companies that prioritize sustainability and environmental protection. Also here, I don't want to promote any companies. You can look out for them yourself. Maybe you even know people in your friend circle who are working or having a company like that, or otherwise you just Google and find the right one for you. And yeah, you can do that by buying their products or also investing in their stocks. So that's maybe not the thing where you put your money. Money is energy. Your energy will go. So if you put your money into stocks and they are actually supporting, I don't know, producing weapons for the war, then this is where you're putting your energy to. If you are supporting companies who are advocates for environmental change, then that's where you put your energy in. So maybe also look where you spend your money and your investments, so your energy. And also very important is educate yourself and others. So that's what I'm trying to do here with this episode, because as I said before, I do believe the consumer has the power. And if more people actually change the way we live, then that will make a massive difference in the world. And for that, I would like to share a story with you. And it's about a little boy and an old man. And the little boy is walking along the beach, and there's an old man, and there are millions of sea stars stranded on the beach. And the old man picks one up, looks at it, and throws it into the ocean. Then picks another one up, throws it back into the ocean, until the boy says to the old man, "What are you doing? Like, you will never save them all. There are too many. That doesn't make any difference." And the old man picks another one up, looks at the sea star, throws it back into the ocean, and says to the young boy, "Well, for this one, it made a difference." So whatever you do, know that for one person or one being, it makes a difference. So if you feel this episode is helpful, please share it with others. And I also want to share a couple of things. So easy swaps I used in my life to reduce my carbon footprint. And one is everything in terms of beauty products. So shampoo or toothpaste or soap. They are amazing recipes and YouTube videos how you can do these things yourself. I actually, to be honest, I failed with the shampoo. So if you have a good recipe, please let me know and reach out to me or share in the comments on Instagram. But I made my own toothpaste, and also when I travel, I made my own soap. I'm even doing my own candles made out of the wax of the old candles. And there are a lot of things you can basically just make yourself. Then there are also a lot of things you maybe just don't really need. So think about, do you actually need everything in the bathroom you're using right now? And the last one is swapping things into more sustainable products. And therefore, there are these amazing shops, I think almost everywhere in Europe and in the States for sure, but even in Kenya, I've seen them, like zero waste shops where you can buy everything organic, and you can buy bamboo toothbrushes, and you can buy organic dental floss, and so many nice and fun products made out of wood instead of made of plastic. So if you buy that and you use it for a while and you throw it away, then at least you don't throwing away plastic, which ends up in our oceans and everywhere in nature. So that's a way. Then in the kitchen also, do you really need that kitchen paper, or can you actually use a kitchen towel to like dry things or clean things? Can you maybe have a compost in your garden? Or can you grow your own vegetables on your balcony? Have you ever thought about that? Maybe you have a garden and you can grow your own tomatoes or whatever. Maybe you can use biodegradable plastic bags for your waste. You can also buy organic dishwashing sponges. I actually have a friend who's producing these, and I'm going to interview her on the podcast very soon as well. Then in terms of shopping, for example, I would say 95% of my clothes I actually buy used. So I love to go to flea markets, and I love to go to clothes swapping parties, and I also swap a lot of clothes with my friends and with my sisters. So I usually don't buy new clothes. The only thing I buy new is underwear. But and if I travel and I find something really nice, then I would buy that from time to time. But that's a very, very small percentage of the things I have. So the things I have, they're either really old and I just keep using them, or they are bought used. So that I would encourage you to do. And if you have to buy something new, look also where you're buying your products from. Where are they made? Maybe you can buy products they are locally made. Maybe you can buy products actually are made of organic cotton. And not polyester. Or you can buy fair trade products. There are also a lot of companies creating these beautiful products. And for example, for yoga wear, you could buy clothes made from Take It Easy Honey, and that's a company of a friend of mine, and she is creating the most beautiful yoga wear, actually all handmade in Paris and made out of recycled plastic, and that's from Italy. So there are so many options in terms of clothes, because actually there are crazy statistics that we could actually from now on survive with the clothes we have for another, I don't know, 200 years without producing anything new. So how much new fashion we're producing and buying is just insane. And you have to also think about where that all ends up. And then there are things like simple swaps. So, for example, I really try when I travel, especially here in Asia, to avoid plastic straws. So I have my own straws made of bamboo and I carry them with me. And I know people laugh, but whenever I go to a restaurant or to a bar, because here they put these plastic straws in everything, in every juice, every water, every coconut you order, every drink. It doesn't have to be a cocktail. There are straws everywhere. So on a daily basis, every time I go and drink something, I say, please without a straw, and I show them my bamboo straw. And lots of people actually really like that and appreciate that, because all these plastic straws, where do they end up? In countries like countries in Asia, they end up in the ocean. And I've seen that myself when I was in Bali and also here in Vietnam. The beaches are full of plastic. And especially when you're traveling to countries abroad where they don't really have proper recycling, it's so important to reduce the plastic you are consuming. Plastic straws, I say no to. I try to find hotels or Airbnbs where they have water dispensers. So I have my own water bottle. That's also one. If you're practicing yoga, I see that in studios all over the world, and I feel some countries are much better and some countries are much worse. But please buy yourself a lovely water bottle you can refill. And the good thing about these water bottles is that they also keep the drink cool and or hot if you put tea in it, and that's also a good option. But then you can refill, and most studios, most places in the world, they have fresh water, and it's also free, and you can just refill that everywhere instead of buying these tiny plastic bottles and buying, I don't know, 4 or 5 a day and just throwing them away. And what else? Same with coffee to go cups. I don't drink coffee, but I have still a cup with me. And even if I buy juices, or even if I am with friends and they buy coffee, I have this cup and I tell people to fill that. I also have my own cutlery, which I carry around and use. So I avoid these plastic cutlery. And now I know I'm taking it to the next level. You could even have a whole picnic basket with you. And of course, if you're traveling or if you're just going out, you don't want to have a plate or whatever in your purse, but a little thing like a straw you can carry with you. So just see what you can actually swap and what you can actually just say no to. And that's the same with things. If people give you free things on the street, no matter if it's flyers or if it's I don't know, free gifts, I usually say no to things I don't need because I know I will just throw it away. And with throwing away, there is no away. Everything we throw ends up on the planet we live, and it doesn't go away, unfortunately. It will end up somewhere in our hemisphere. And I've seen that, unfortunately, in Kenya, and I think also here in Thailand. They burn the trash, they burn the plastic, and they think then it's gone, but it is not really. It just makes it worse, and it's creating this terrible carbon footprint. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you found some interesting ideas for yourself. Let me just repeat what you can do. Easy things in your life. And again, remember, you are human, so you don't have to do everything. Maybe you just pick one thing, or maybe you just try to live 80% sustainable and 20% you still gotta live a little. So the first one is reduce, reuse, or recycle. Conserve energy, eat sustainably, reduce water usage, and support sustainable companies, and educate yourself and others. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Please send me your sustainable swaps or ideas or companies or recipes or links or whatever you have to live a more sustainable life. I'm so much looking forward to your comments and your input on this, because we're all living here together. It's a beautiful planet, and let's try to keep it clean as possible. I have a vision that one day you will walk on all these beautiful beaches and they will be free of plastic and trash, and we can enjoy nature so much more. And if you feel the calling to spend some time with me in nature in Portugal, this year in May I will have my next yoga retreat, and that is in a complete sustainable space, so we will not waste any plastic over there. So if you feel like you are ready for some time for yourself, some time to unwind, some time to get away from everything and just enjoy yourself, treat yourself, then please join me. We still have the early bird price for 1 week. There's still a couple of spaces left for you to catch the early bird. And if you have questions, please reach out. I wish you a lovely, wonderful, sustainable day. Love and namaste.